is Andrew Shibata, member of the Matador boxing team, 24 years old, kinesthesiology major, and a true creature of fitness. Andrew is set to have his first amateur fight on April 9th. Beneath the sweat, the 5-mile runs at 6 in the morning, and that gnawing anticipation that sits in the belly of all fighters preparing to step into the ring, there lies a staunch physical reminder of a different time. That's because Andrew had a less than easy journey to the ring, one that began more than 4 years ago.
I graduated high school back in 2004, and I went to school up at the University of Washington. And while I was up there, that's when I started realizing I had some problems. I originally had sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is kind of a disorder where you kind of have problems sleeping, where you're almost king in the middle of the night and you wake up kind of violently gasping for breath. And originally that was diagnosed as because I was overweight. I used to be really bigger than this. I used to be about like 257 pounds. And so I had a big problem. And so I came back from Washington I stayed there for 2 years, so about 2010. And that's when I started really working out, just to lose weight because I knew that I had some problems. So I worked out. I basically lost 100 pounds, you know, but my problems were still kind of around, and they were actually getting kind of worse. You know, I had bad cases of vertigo. I had bad migraines. I was taking like 7, 8 pain pills a day.
So Andrew visited more doctors, including an ophthalmologist and a UCLA specialist. After visiting a neurologist and receiving an MRI, the truth of Andrew's sleep apnea, migraines, and balance problem was revealed.
And sure enough, they found out that I had something called an Arnold-Chiari Malformation. And you know, that's kind of a big thing. Basically, part of your cerebellum, which is your lower part of your brain, kind of falls through this thing called your foramen magnum, which is basically a hole where your spinal cord meets your skull. And it was causing pressure on my brain. And it's a pretty big deal. I mean, at the base of my skull, they went in, they pushed my brain out of the hole, basically, patched up the hole because it was basically what happens is the hole is a little bit bigger than it should be, so that's why the brain falls through. So they just patched it up and kind of just sent me on my way. And basically, right, like maybe 3 days after surgery, I mean, I could tell I could tell a complete difference. You know, headaches were gone, dizziness was gone, everything was just perfect. I got the surgery pretty much like a month or a little bit less than a month before I started CSUN. I mean, basically I had surgery, then I was at school, you know, taking classes and whatnot. And everything was fine, you know, everything worked out perfectly fine. I did my same routine, went to classes, went to the gym, worked out. Basically everything was perfect like that.
Though nervous about the fight itself, Andrew doesn't appear to be worried about the unknown risks that could face someone who had surgery for Arnold-Chiari Malformation.
I mean, obviously I'm a little bit concerned, you know, I mean, the doctor said, you know, that originally when the doctor told me I was gonna have surgery, you know, he said that, you know, the surgery would help, but he says, you know, naturally as you get older, things could, you know, deteriorate. Eventually you might need another surgery, so, you know, I never know. I mean, it could be, boxing could, you know, do something, could not.
Boxing, out of the blue corner, representing Team CSUN, Andrew Shibata. Okay, we have a winner out of the red corner, Robert Garcia.
You know, and just, you know, see how all my training has paid off, if it has, you know. And I mean, win or lose, if it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's still a pretty big goal. I mean, how many people can say they've actually boxed in an amateur fight before,